Konnichiwa and welcome to Sumo Prime Time's live coverage of day 2 of the September tournament coming your way from the Kokugikan, the home of sumo in Tokyo. I'm Hiro Morita, the host of Sumo Prime Time. We truly appreciate you for joining us here on day 2 of the fall tournament, wherever you may be. Now, we will be with you for the next 120 minutes to bring you all the bouts in Makuuchi and perhaps more. So please stay tuned for the entire show. All right. We're also looking forward to chatting with you throughout the show. So please send in your comments, suggestions, and perhaps questions. So we'll be looking forward to chatting with you and communicating with you. Just wonderful to be here with you. Thank you so much for always tuning into Sumo Prime Time. The latest show we brought you was the Hakkaku chairman's the Kandeki, or the 60th birthday celebratory Dohyo Iri, the ring entering ceremony, which took place on September 2nd right here at the Kokugikan. Hope you enjoyed that show as well. Now, before we move on, I want to talk about right now in Makuuchi. As you can see on the dohyo, nobody's there. It's the Nakairi. It's a little break before we get into the first half of Makuuchi action here on day 2. Now, let's talk about the absence of Terunofuji, Hakuoho, and Wakataka Kage, and let me give you the latest update on those 3 Kyujo absences. Yokozuna Terunofuji is sitting out for the 2nd consecutive tournament and with his herniated disc. Now, that's a big question mark on his body because it's his 18th overall Kyujo or absence, 7th as a Yokozuna in his 13 tournaments fighting at the top rank. We saw Terunofuji actually on September 2nd at Soken official practice session in front of the Yokozuna Deliberation Council, but we were concerned because Terunofuji was not practicing against anybody. He didn't have any practice matches. All he did was he did a lot of sumo basic exercises such as shiko foot stampings and perhaps a suriashi feet sliding. He got up on the dohyo, but all he did was he took on some of the charges in the butsukari geiko or the collision practice. So we were concerned, and our concern became a reality. Now, my take is that his master, stable master, former Yokozuna Asahifuji Isegahama, says that other than his lower back pain, he's fine. His knees are in good shape, so he can compete anytime as long as he can get his health back, i.e., particularly his lower back pain goes away, he should be okay. So we're looking forward to seeing him back in the November tournament. But one thing I'm concerned with is that his back pain is a huge concern, again, because it's his lower back, right? Herniated disc. And it seems to be a recurring injury. So maybe he gets his health back, but who knows? It could pop up again in the near future. So we have to wait and see. But let's hope he's on the mend and he comes back in the November tournament in good shape. All right, let's talk about Hakuoho. Hakuoho, Maegashira 9 combatant who underwent surgery on his left shoulder on August 31st. We all remember him. He competed in the July tournament as a Shinyu Maku top division rookie, and he did phenomenal. I mean, he went 11-4. He almost won the championship, but he was competing with a banged up left shoulder. I think it was a dislocation of his left shoulder. So his Oyakata, former Yokozuna 45-time champion Hakuho, Miyagi no Oyakata, stable master, says, sit out the September tournament and have a surgery, and that's what he did. And he's on rehab right now. And his Oyakata revealed that it could take Hakuoho 3 months to fully recover and before he can come back to compete in the ring. So we're looking at Hakuoho maybe coming back in January at the earliest. Now, when he comes back in January, he will be down in the low Makushita ranks. That's the 3rd highest division. But that's the way to go, I think, because first of all, he's only 20 years old, and he's got a lot of time, ahead of him. So he's got a long career ahead of him. So fix his body. That's the first and primary priority already for Hakuoho right now. And as long as he can get his health back, we all know what he can do. It's kind of scary to think if he was in top form in the July tournament, maybe he could have gone on to win the championship as a top division rookie. So let's hope Hakuoho fixes his body and comes back in strong form. Now, finally, let's talk about Wakataka Kage, the former Sekiwake, the one-time champion, and Juryo 7 right now, Wakataka Kage, and still recuperating after having a surgery on his right knee in April. He injured that part of his body during the March tournament this year. And after undergoing the surgery, he is on the mend. His Oyakata revealed that Wakataka Kage has started training against lower division combatants. So we're looking at the return of Wakataka Kage perhaps in the November tournament. That's what the stable master says. That's a possibility. So let's hope that'll be the case. Even though Wakataka Kage returns to action, he will be down in Makushita. But we all know he's a proven product, so he should be all right once he gets his health back. So that's my take on those Terunofuji, Hakuoho, and Wakataka Kage. Let's hope they are on the mend and return to action in the near future. All right, first half Makuuchi action is about to start. So I have more takes on the championship outlook and more, but we'll give you those later on in the show. First up, we have on the dohyo will be Tsurugisho, who is 0-1 against Kagayaki at 1-0. Kagayaki is the returnee to the top division. And thank you very much, all of you, for joining us here on day 2 of the Sumo Prime Times live streaming show, live from Kokugikan. Tsurugisho is 0-1, Kagayaki 1-0. Kagayaki looked pretty impressive yesterday in his sumo, didn't he? By the way, for those novice sumo watchers, rules of sumo rules are pretty simple. You can primarily win by 2 ways. One is a rikishi wins a bout by forcing his opponent out of the ring, pushing and forcing him out of the ring. And the other way is making him touch the ground, anything other than the soles of his feet, any part other than the soles of his feet, using a technique such as a throw. So those are the 2 ways you can win the match. All right, as you see, Tsurugisho and Kagayaki are on the dohyo. They're about to fight. And see, Kagayaki has led the series 5-2 in the past. They've faced off 7 times in the past. Kagayaki leads the series. They met in May. I remember this. Kagayaki opened up with his effective thrusting attack, and then he got a good hold of Tsurugisho and eventually pushed him out. So that's the type of sumo Kagayaki wants to repeat. Tsurugisho lost to CHIYOSHOMA yesterday, so he wants to bounce back and get his first win of this Akibasho right away. Tsurugisho is a very heavy man, but you know what? He has lost 13 kilos in the last 6 months. So Tsurugisho looking to have a better agility. You're looking at Kagayaki right now. Kagayaki is 192 centimeters, 160 kilos. So we're having 2 gigantic rikishi on the dohyo. He defeated Daishoho in strong fashion yesterday. So Kagayaki competing in his 40th top division contest, and this also is his 80th career tournament. So Kagayaki have come a long way. He is the returnee to the top division this time after scoring 9 wins and 6 losses competing in Juryo in the previous tournament in July. So the returnee to the top division is Kagayaki on the left from the east side, Tsurugisho Maegashira 16 on the right-hand side. We're just focusing in on Kagayaki right now. Kagayaki 1-0. So here we go. There's Tsurugisho on the right. They're ready to fight. So let's see. Their fighting style is pretty much contrasting fighting style. Tsurugisho fights with his right hand inside, left hand outside. That's called Nigiyotsu. That's his favorite go-to weapon. Kagayaki, of course, pusher thruster. Pushing and thrusting, Tsuki Oshizumo is Kagayaki's forte. However, Kagayaki has multiplied his offensive repertoire these days, so he can fight on the mawashi by getting a grip, good grip on his opponent's belt. So let's see how it goes. Tsurugisho 0-1 against Kagayaki 1-0. Kagayaki is going for back-to-back wins to start out the September tournament. Here we go. First match in Makuuchi Day 2 on Sumo Prime Time's September Thriller. Check the matches. Kagayaki ready to hit Tsurugisho hard. Initial contact is very important in sumo. Good charge by both. Tsurugisho wants to gain an inside position, but it is Kagayaki having a good hold on Tsurugisho. Tsurugisho rotates. A nice job by Tsurugisho taking advantage of his size and defeating Kagayaki by out-muscling him in the Yotsuzumo style. So Tsurugisho gets his win number 1 of this September tournament with Yorikiri frontal force out. Let me write down the winning Kimarite. Tsurugisho wins by Yorikiri. And Kagayaki is 1-1 after 2 days. So what a sumo that was by Tsurugisho, huh? Tsurugisho kind of allowed Kagayaki to maybe go forward with that good hold that Kagayaki had on Tsurugisho, but Tsurugisho was able to turn the tables and he was able to flex his muscles and take out Kagayaki in strong fashion to get his first win of the tournament. Tsurugisho, by the way, will fight Aoiyama tomorrow. Kagayaki's opponent on day 3 will be Nishikifuji. Moving right along to the next match, it is DAISHOHO 0-1 facing off against ATAMIFUJI 1-0. Another returnee to the top division is ATAMIFUJI. ATAMIFUJI is the Juryo division champion in the July tournament. So ATAMIFUJI is on a roll because he is coming off a back-to-back double-digit winning performance in Juryo. And I asked ATAMIFUJI earlier this month about why he is on a roll, and he says he is right now fighting with his solid go-to style, right hand inside, left hand shallow grip on his opponent. So ATAMIFUJI says he has gained a lot of confidence. His stable master has been telling ATAMIFUJI constantly to drop his hips. As long as ATAMIFUJI is able to get the grip by dropping his hips, stay low, ATAMIFUJI should be fine. ATAMIFUJI competes with a big body of 186 centimeters and 181 kilos. ATAMIFUJI coming in as the returnee to the top division. We are looking at DAISHOHO right now. DAISHOHO, another big man at 198 kilograms. He's a big Yotsu fighter. So is ATAMIFUJI. Right hand inside, left hand outside. Thank you, Andrew Manugian for your super chat. He says, thanks for everything, Hiro Sumo Prime Time. Thank you very much. Andrew, thank you for your super chat. And again, thank you all of you for joining us on Sumo Prime Time's September Thriller on day 2 of the Akibashoda Fall Tourney. We're looking at ATAMIFUJI. ATAMIFUJI is only 21 years old. You know, he turned 21 earlier this month on September 3rd. I asked him if he had any plans to celebrate his birthday, but he was saying, he told me that he will celebrate upon completion of this Akibasho because he was totally focused on competing at a high level in this fall tournament. So after the fall tourney, I think he will have perhaps a birthday party, but he wants to get himself a nice birthday present, giving himself a nice kachikoshi. It'll be his first kachikoshi, more wins than losses in a 15-day contest for ATAMIFUJI, competing in the top Makuuchi division. 13-2 in May, 11-4 last time. So let's see if he can kind of duplicate the feat that he was doing in Juryo for ATAMIFUJI. DAISHOHO, his opponent is East Maegashira 17, so he has no real estate behind him in terms of the rankings. So DAISHOHO better crank it up if he wants to stay in Makuuchi. There's ATAMIFUJI once again. ATAMIFUJI has looks like a banged up right shoulder, but should be okay. ATAMIFUJI competing in Makuuchi, by the way, for the first time this year in 2023. It's been all Juryo contests for ATAMIFUJI up until this basho. Super chat coming in from Queen Bee. Thank you very much for your super chat. And what's for dinner? Super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. This awesome is Hiro. Thank you so much for doing this. And what's for dinner says, thank you very much for this live stream. You're very welcome. All right, let's see what happens here. ATAMIFUJI attacks with the right shoulder. They're getting Migioto. That's their both go-to styles. Right hand inside, left hand outside. Power versus power. Right about the middle of the dohyo. ATAMIFUJI drops his hips. ATAMIFUJI having trouble budging heavy Daishoho, who weighs 198 kilos. ATAMIFUJI now gets set, goes forward, and retreating is Daishoho. ATAMIFUJI outmuscles Daishoho for Yorikiri win. So ATAMIFUJI perfect so far after 2 days with, again, nice Yorikiri with the right hand inside, left hand outside grip. So ATAMIFUJI goes to 2-0, Daishoho 0-2. ATAMIFUJI on day 3, he will fight MYOGIRYU, the veteran, and Daishoho will try to get his first win when he meets CHIYOSHOMA. So thank you everybody for bringing in all your chats. And it says, Queen Bee says, let's go Atami. That's right. Atami, by the way, is the name of a city in Shizuoka Prefecture, and that's where he is from. Beautiful city, beautiful beach. The city by the beach, and I've been there many times, and I highly advise you to go there sometimes if you can make it to Japan. All right, let's move on to the next match. It is KOTOSHOHO and CHIYOSHOMA. KOTOSHOHO looking for his first win of the contest. He lost yesterday. CHIYOSHOMA the other way around. He won yesterday. He is 1-0. KOTOSHOHO, another young top division combatant. He is 24. He turned 24 on August 26th. The stablemate of Kotono Waka, who is making his debut at the third highest rank of Sekiwake. CHIYOSHOMA, it's now when I did the research before this broadcast or the show, I was kind of flabbergasted to find out that CHIYOSHOMA is the only Makuuchi combatant representative out of Kokonoe Bear. Kokonoe Bear used to have many Makuuchi combatants like Chiyomaru, Chiyono, Chiyo Otori, Chiyo no Kuni, but right now you look around in a field of 42 Makuuchi combatants, CHIYOSHOMA is the only Makuuchi combatant. As we take a look at the KOTOSHOHO right now, KOTOSHOHO lost to ATAMIFUJI yesterday. He got manhandled by ATAMIFUJI. 3 consecutive losing records, makekoshi for KOTOSHOHO. So KOTOSHOHO needs to redeem himself big time. CHIYOSHOMA had a losing record in the July tournament in Nagoya, 6-9. I did a little interview with CHIYOSHOMA before the July tournament, and CHIYOSHOMA was kind of happy to be on Sumo Prime Time. That was his first appearance on Sumo Prime Time, and CHIYOSHOMA kind of appreciated that we did an interview on CHIYOSHOMA, and CHIYOSHOMA was in high spirits. And CHIYOSHOMA, although he did have a losing record in July, I'm sure he is going to regroup fast and get a winning record this special. All right, CHIYOSHOMA coming in with a nice 1-0 record. KOTOSHOHO. Now remember KOTOSHOHO this January, he was in contention all the way to the end. He fought TAKAYASU, I believe it was on the final day, with both men with identical records of 11-3. It was TAKAYASU defeating KOTOSHOHO to take the match and the championship in the January tournament. And KOTOSHOHO, since then, we've seen a lackluster performance from KOTOSHOHO in recent tournaments. So let's see if KOTOSHOHO can really turn things around. He meets CHIYOSHOMA. Here we go. KOTOSHOHO 0-1, CHIYOSHOMA 1-0. Here they go. KOTOSHOHO knocks CHIYOSHOMA backwards, but CHIYOSHOMA gets a strong grip, swinging KOTOSHOHO, but KOTOSHOHO is able to hold his ground right about the middle of the dohyo. Again, CHIYOSHOMA has a strong grip with the right, chest to chest. Who makes the next move? CHIYOSHOMA goes in, but KOTOSHOHO stays put. KOTOSHOHO being an immovable object in the middle of the dohyo. Power versus power once again in this Right hand outside position for CHIYOSHOMA. Left hand inside grip for KOTOSHOHO. Let's see, KOTOSHOHO can improve his position and initiate his own offensive attack. KOTOSHOHO again, keeping up the pressure. There goes the screen age attempt by KOTOSHOHO, but good job defensively by CHIYOSHOMA. The second time is the deal for KOTOSHOHO as he is able to upend CHIYOSHOMA with a beautiful screen age beltless arm throw. CHIYOSHOMA goes down to the deck. KOTOSHOHO gets his first victory of this September tournament. What a match! I think he lasted for about a minute, but the war of attrition went to KOTOSHOHO. The young KOTOSHOHO gets his first win of the tournament with a screen age beltless arm throw. Job well done by the 24-year-old youngster. Screen age beltless arm throw. Did you see the left hand inside position? And CHIYOSHOMA just unable to escape at all. CHIYOSHOMA had a lot of difficulty dealing with KOTOSHOHO's left hand inside position. In the end, KOTOSHOHO knew what to do with the grip. All right, so KOTOSHOHO goes to 1-1. Tomorrow he meets SADANOUMI, and CHIYOSHOMA, he'll try to bounce back when he meets DAISHOHO. All right, let's move on to the next match. We have Nishikifuji and MYOGIRYU locking horns. Nishikifuji, he is winless after just one day though, so he's hoping to get his first win here on day 2. MYOGIRYU won convincingly yesterday, defeating another veteran, that's AOIYAMA, yesterday. So MYOGIRYU looking very good, but we still have 14 more days, so we'll see what happens. Again, it's great to be with you here on Sumo Prime Time. Please keep sending in your comments and suggestions. And a lot of people rooting for CHIYOSHOMA. Says, I always root for Shoma, but that was a lovely throw by KOTOSHOHO. Nice Shoho. He doesn't get injury, we hope. Or that's what we always hope for. We do not want to see anybody getting injured, especially in a grand tournament, because this is serious business for all these combatants. All right, Nishikifuji on the right-hand side. He's from the west side. He is 0-1, Maegashira 13 versus Maegashira 13 MYOGIRYU. So you can say this is a Maegashira 13 showdown. All right, MYOGIRYU and Nishikifuji have faced off 6 times in the past. MYOGIRYU leads the series 4-2. MYOGIRYU, the last time they met was in July. MYOGIRYU won by Hatakikomi slapdown in Nagoya. It was almost like a hit and run type of match for MYOGIRYU because he hit and just hit the slapdown, and down went Nishikifuji in July. So Nishikifuji wants to stay in the match a lot longer than how he was able to do against the MYOGIRYU in the last tournament. So here we go. We are about to have a fight between Nishikifuji and MYOGIRYU. They are wiping off their sweat, get the salt for the last time. Now, by the way, they throw salt for a lot of reasons, primarily to purify the ring and body, because salt is believed to have a cleansing power in Japan. So they use salt. I believe a total of 600 kilograms of salt is used in one day, one tournament in Ozumo. That's 40 kilograms per day of salt. A lot of salt. All right, let's go to Nishikifuji and MYOGIRYU. Nishikifuji, 27 years old. MYOGIRYU is 36. He will turn 37 in October, but MYOGIRYU still hale and hearty. There he goes, inside position, and look at the leg drive by Nishikifuji, but Nishikifuji cannot finish off MYOGIRYU. MYOGIRYU does a good job defensively, but MYOGIRYU in the end backpedals, and Nishikifuji drives MYOGIRYU back and out. Job well done by Nishikifuji to score his first win. That's a Yorikiri frontal foresaw victory for Nishikifuji as he gets his win number 1. Let me write that down. All right, Nishikifuji and MYOGIRYU both men 1-1 after 2 days. Nishikifuji will meet Kagayaki tomorrow. MYOGIRYU will try to rebound when he meets ATAMIFUJI on day 3. What a sumo by Nishikifuji. Nishikifuji used his speed, got inside of MYOGIRYU fast, and MYOGIRYU had no answer whatsoever. He was taken back to the edge. MYOGIRYU did a nice job of rallying a little bit, but it was Nishikifuji all over Myogiryu with that inside position that he has established, and he was able to finish him off with no problem. Moving on to the next match, it is Sadanoumi and Aoiyama. All right, Sadanoumi and Aoiyama. Sadanoumi is 1-0. Aoiyama got beat by Myogiryu yesterday, so this is his bounce back match. Let's see if he can get his win. In fact, that was Aoiyama's first loss in 8 matches. Remember, Aoiyama went like 7-0, 7 straight wins to end the July tournament, and so that was his first loss in a long time for the Bulgarian, the man from Bulgaria, Aoiyama, in the September tournament. So Aoiyama hoping to get his first win. Both veterans. Now Sadanoumi, a little concerned with Sadanoumi because he's coming off 4 consecutive Makekoshi losing records. So Sadanoumi hoping to bounce back and get his first Kachikoshi of the year. So yeah, Sadanoumi hasn't gotten Kachikoshi in 2023. So that's one thing he's shooting for right now. There you see Sadanoumi. By the way, his father was a komusubi who fought at the 4th highest rank. So that's one of Sadanoumi's goals, is to match his father's rank of komusubi. Sadanoumi hasn't been there yet. So Sadanoumi, but he's still fighting hard at the age of 37. Wow, Sadanoumi. He is quick, he is aggressive, relentless, and Sadanoumi always gives his 100%. So that's why I like about Sadanoumi. His opponent is Aoiyama. Of course, Aoiyama fights with all guns blazing, tsuppari, pushing and thrusting offenses. His thrusts are very heavy, so that's why his opponents struggle when Aoiyama attacks with a bullseye tsuppari thrusting attack. And that's his game plan today. He simply wants to drive forward, go north and south with his pushing and thrusting attack. So let's see if he can do that against Sadanoumi, who has a good lateral mobility. So the speed and lateral mobility, the footwork of Sadanoumi against power of Aoiyama right here. Aoiyama and Sadanoumi. Aoiyama 1-0-1. Sadanoumi 1-0. Now these two folks have gone. They go way back. They faced off against each other total of 21 times, and Sadanoumi leads just 11-10. So close rivalry. In July, Aoiyama won by Hatakikomi slapdown. So let's see what happens here. Sadanoumi hoping to go 2-0, and Aoiyama looking for his first victory here in the Akibasho. Good looking charge by Aoiyama. Look at the Inashi move. Sideway attack by Sadanoumi, and he wins by Okuridashi rear push out over Aoiyama. So Aoiyama opened up with his all guns blazing tsuppari, but right away Sadanoumi was able to shift away to his left and broke Aoiyama's balance, got right behind Aoiyama to win by Okuridashi rear push out. Job well done by Sadanoumi, who goes to 2-0. He meets KOTOSHOHO on day 3. Aoiyama 0-2. He hopes to get his first win when he meets TSURUGISHO on day 3 tomorrow. All right, we have more veterans coming your way here in the first half of Makuuchi Tourney the matches on day 2. And we have TAKARAFUJI. On the west side, he is 1-0. He meets MITAKEUMI, the former Ozeki, who put up a brilliant performance yesterday in a match against Endo on day 1. So both men are winners from day 1 contest yesterday, MITAKEUMI and TAKARAFUJI. These two combatants have faced off 15 times in the past, and MITAKEUMI leads considerably with an 11-4 edge. They met in January. That's the last time they met. Like yesterday, MITAKEUMI attacked with a strong right hand otsuke. Now, that's what you see whenever somebody fights TAKARAFUJI, because TAKARAFUJI's go-to weapon is establishing the left hand inside position. So his opponents will try everything they can to block Takarafuji from establishing that left hand inside position. So, and Takarafuji, if he can't get that, he will struggle. And that was the case in their January head-to-head matchup between Mitakeumi and Takarafuji. By the way, again, Mitakeumi, getting back to Mitakeumi, had a good Migi Otsuke, right side Otsuke against Endo yesterday. That's why he was able to take the match against Endo, and he's looking for same type of I guess game plan against Takarafuji, because again, denying Takarafuji's left hand inside position is the way to go when you fight Takarafuji. So Takarafuji must be a little creative, little more innovative to find his go-to weapon, left hand inside, right hand outside. Mitakeumi coming off a very disappointing basho in July in Nagoya, only 3 wins and 12 losses. He was competing with heavy heart because his father passed away prior to the July tournament. So Mitakeumi was not in good shape, I guess, mentally in the July tourney, but here he is. I hope he is competing with high spirits this time. Mitakeumi, 30 years old, former Ozeki, 3-time champion, and we would love to see Mitakeumi return to, again, the second highest rank of Ozeki in the future. Takarafuji competing, and he is 36 years old. Even though he's 36, he's still very powerful. One of the most powerful men in all of sumo is Takarafuji. So here we go, Mitakeumi on the left, as we zero in on Mitakeumi, Takarafuji on the right, Takarafuji. Let's see if he can get his win number 2. Both men looking to go 2-0 here in the early Akibasho. Good low charge by Mitakeumi. Good block by Takarafuji. Takarafuji holding his ground. Mitakeumi advances. Mitakeumi with a right side Otsuke, preventing Takarafuji from gaining that left and inside position. And Takarafuji being relentless, but Mitakeumi much more aggressive, and he defeats Takarafuji by Oshidashi. Frontal push out. Way to go, Mitakeumi. Another impressive performance by the former Ozeki as he goes to 2-0. So that's exactly what you saw, right side Otsuke. Thank you, Goose, for your super chat. It says, thank you for bringing English sumo to us. Please turn on the sumo sound. We hope to do so, but technically we are unable to do so at the moment. We'll work on that, Goose-san. Susu Roram, thank you for your super chat. Susu Roram-san, thank you so much. Thank you so much. He is congratulating our 1-year anniversary here on Sumo Prime Time. Yes, Sumo Prime Time. This channel started exactly about a year ago in August of 2022. And with your help, we now have over 36,000 subscribers. Now, we'd like to bring that number up to 50,000 by the year end. So please help us, support us, spread the word about Sumo Prime Time, because we would like to bring that number up to 50,000 by the year end, but we are on our way. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, thank you for all those super chat. Now let's move on to the next match. It is Endo meeting HOKUSEIHO. Both men lost on the opening day yesterday. By the way, Takarafuji will fight Endo tomorrow. That's the man on the right. Mitakeumi, his opponent on the left, HOKUSEIHO. HOKUSEIHO fights out of Miyagi-no where he is being coached by the 45-time champ Miyagi-no Oyakata, former Yokozuna Hakuho. But HOKUSEIHO competing in his 4th Makuuchi contest, but this is he suffered his first Makekoshi losing tournament in July. All right, thank you so much for your super chat. Let me try to pronounce your name correctly. Terribly nice nut. Terribly nice nut. Thank you for your super chat. It says, thank you for bringing me sumo to us, Hiro. Happy that there is now an official option for us sumo fans outside Japan. Thank you. We appreciate you for tuning into Sumo Prime Time's live coverage of Day 2, the September thriller. Thank you. Terribly nice not. Thank you for your super chat. All right, now it is Endo on the right-hand side, and Endo, of course, he is highly recruited out of college as he won an amateur championship during his college days. So, yeah, he's legit, but he's been hampered with so many injuries during his professional career, and I don't remember him fighting in his top form in recent years. So he's banged up every time he competes, but he put up 10 wins in July. So even though he's hurt, he can put up strong numbers. That's how good Endo is. All right, his opponent is HOKUSEIHO. HOKUSEIHO is good, but the HOKUSEIHO needs to work on his game because his sumo is kind of rough still. I know he has a go-to weapon that is getting the left hand outside position, but he tries to outmuscle his opponent by forcefully using the left hand attack. So HOKUSEIHO needs to work on his game, work on the mechanics. I'm sure Hakuho is giving him proper advice on a daily basis. First ever meeting between Endo and HOKUSEIHO. The winner will get his first win of this Akibasho, the contest. Thank you for Low Rio 2, Low Rio for your super chat. Thank you so much. To Low Rio. Sumo Prime Time. Here we go. Endo versus HOKUSEIHO for the very first time. Oh, as you can tell, HOKUSEIHO is much taller than Endo. He's 20 centimeters taller. He goes for the Kotenaga arm lock throw. Endo goes for a little bit of leg sweeping action, but it doesn't work. Double inside position by Endo, but HOKUSEIHO holding his ground, doing a good job of defending Endo's attack. HOKUSEIHO up very high. Endo wants to finish off HOKUSEIHO when he has this double inside, but HOKUSEIHO locking up the arms from outside. He's hoping to just crunch those arms of Endo. Endo might be feeling a lot of pain right now. Endo holding his ground, but Endo, his hips are high, so he cannot really attack HOKUSEIHO at the moment. So Endo needs to drop his hips, gets lower before he can attack HOKUSEIHO. HOKUSEIHO trying to wear out Endo in this double outside arm lock position. Exciting. This has become a war of attrition. HOKUSEIHO attacking from the outside, Endo inside. HOKUSEIHO kind of lifts up Endo, and there goes HOKUSEIHO with a lift out from a double outside grip. What a power displayed by HOKUSEIHO. He wins by kimedashi or either lift out. What a sumo by HOKUSEIHO. He gets win number 1. HOKUSEIHO wins. What a powerful sumo by HOKUSEIHO. Was it a tsuridashi or was it a kimedashi? I'm asking my staff. Kimedashi? Tsuridashi? Oh, yeah. So he'll check it out for us. By the way, HOKUSEIHO will fight MITAKEUMI tomorrow. Endo meets TAKARAFUJI on day 3, but what a sumo by HOKUSEIHO. Not the type of sumo I think Hakuho would like to see, but a win is a win, and HOKUSEIHO will take it. That's his first win. Now that was kimedashi, double arm barring force out. Arm barring force out by HOKUSEIHO, kimedashi, powerful kimedashi. All right. Thank you, Kobayashi-san. Kobayashi-san is my partner. He's my cameraman during the Sumo Prime Time. He is always with me to bring you these shows. So I'll try to bring him in front of the camera later on in the show, if possible, if he wants to. All right, moving on to KINBOZAN and KOTOEKO. Both men the winners from day 1 yesterday. KINBOZAN with splendid performance yesterday when he defeated Midorifuji. And Kotoeko fought Hiradoumi yesterday. And do you see that squee nage, the beltless arm throw by Kotoeko? He upended Hiradoumi with a beautiful throw. Again, thank you very much for another chat, a super chat from L'Oreal. How often will these streams happen? Well, we will come back on day 13 of the Aki Basho, this Basho. So it'll be about 10 days away, 11 days away from today, but we will have our second live streaming, live, play-by-play commentary by me on day 13. So please mark your calendar and tune into that show as well. Thank you for asking to L'Oreal. Thank you. All right, here is Kinbozan. Kinbozan, again, he was the winner yesterday in a strong style. Kinbozan 1-0. Kotoeko also 1-0. And now, when you talk about Kinbozan, the Kinbozan has been hampered with a neck injury. He hurt his neck not too long ago, and he was telling us that he's not able to practice as much as he wants to these days. So he's competing, but he is nowhere near his top form. But Kinbozan puts up a win yesterday, so that's an auspicious start for the man from Kazakhstan. His opponent, Kotoeko. Now, Kotoeko, he's fighting with more power and energy these days because, you know why? He announced his engagement prior to the Basho, and so he will be married soon. So I think that this engagement power is what it's been Kotoeko's driving force. So let's see what Kotoeko can do to impress his fiancée. Let's see how he does. Kotoeko and Kinbozan, both men 1-0, trying to improve to 2-0. Kotoeko fights with a lot of speed. Kinbozan with a lot of power. Oh, a little bit of tsukake action. So Kotoeko says sorry. Kinbozan says that's all right. Let me get my pen and mark that. Tsukake by Kotoeko. By the way, he did that tsukake or a little bit of false start yesterday. So Kotoeko needs to show a little patience. Good job, Kinbozan, keeping Kotoeko in dead center. Kotoeko cannot gain an inside position. Kinbozan, look at the Oshita Oshi. Frontal push down by Kinbozan. Could be a Tsukita Oshi. We'll see what the official Kimarite is, but a strong performance by Kinbozan. And he simply just blew Kotoeko away. Okay. My partner Kobayashi-kun is looking for the official Kimarite, the winning technique of Kinbozan, whether it's Oshidashi or Tsukita Oshi. And we'll give you that later. But anyway, Kinbozan goes to 2-0. Tomorrow he meets HIRADOUMI. Kotoeko fights MIDORIFUJI on day 3. So job well done by Kinbozan. Kinbozan fought well. Tsukita Oshi frontal thrust down is the winning technique for Kinbozan from Kazakhstan. Strong performance. Okay, so thank you to my partner Kobayashi-san for finding out exactly what the official Kimarite, the winning technique is. Again, by the way, Kobayashi-kun is my partner producing this Sumo Prime Time show. He's a shy man, so he doesn't like to be on camera, but we'll try to bring him over, okay, later on in the show. All right, next up it is Hiradoumi and Midorifuji. Hiradoumi 0-1 against Midorifuji with the same record. So both men looking for their first win of the contest. It's only day 2. It's Monday here in Japan, but you know what? All 15 days, the tickets for all 15 days are sold out. Not a single ticket's available here in the Aki Basho. That's how popular is sumo right now. It's been popular for all these years, but a lot of people coming into Tokyo with a lot of foreign, people from outside Japan visiting Japan and checking out sumo with the end of COVID. So it's really, really wonderful to see all these fans from abroad coming to watch sumo live here at the Kokugikan or wherever it is held. Next time, it'll be held in Fukuoka in southwestern Japan in November. Thank you for your super chat, Queen B. It says, Kobayashi-san, thank you for your hard work. Yeah, we received a super chat for my cameraman and my partner for Kobayashi-san. His first name is Yusuke Kobayashi. It says, Kobayashi-san, thank you for your hard work. Go, Midorifuji. Okay? Midorifuji-san sending the super chat. Queen Bee, thank you. I've just personally told Kobayashi-san, and Kobayashi-san is in all smiles. All right. Okay, so here is Hiradoumi and Midorifuji. Midorifuji lost yesterday. Midorifuji 0-1. And Midorifuji, yeah, he's been hampered with a lower back injury. I think his Oyakata revealed that recently. So the little man is competing with a banged up lower back pain. So let's hope it doesn't affect his sumo that much. Hiradoumi on the other side is, very young Hiradoumi and feisty Hiradoumi, I must say. 23 years of age, fights out of Sakaigawa Bear, being coached by former Komusubi Ryogoku. Thank you so much for your super chat, Diana Vasquez. Diana Vasquez-san, thank you for your super chat. It says, this is great. Loving your coverage, insight, and enthusiasm, and hakeoi. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to Hiradoumi and Midorifuji. They're about to fight. Both are feisty, and they use a lot of speed to attack their foes. Midorifuji on the left, chest to chest in Migiyotsu right hand inside. And Hiradoumi should overpower Midorifuji in this position. Hiradoumi bigger than Midorifuji, more powerful. And look at the suinage to break Midorifuji balance is Hiradoumi, but Hiradoumi unable to finish off. Midorifuji putting up a fight. Midorifuji is at the edge. He cannot remain inside the ring. So a force out or push out win for Hiradoumi, and Hiradoumi gets the win here on day 2. So Hiradoumi goes to 1-1. Midorifuji 0-2. Hiradoumi fights Kinbozan tomorrow. Midorifuji against Kotoeko. Strong performance by Hiradoumi. Once he had a good hold of Midorifuji, he didn't let go. He didn't allow Midorifuji to escape. Midorifuji was hitting that escape button, eject button, but he just could not escape. And Hiradoumi just simply overwhelmed him with the frontal charge. So I believe that's Yorikiri by Hiradoumi. Yes, Yorikiri frontal force win for Hiradoumi to get his first win of the contest. Another young man, man with a lot of high hopes, Hiradoumi. So keep your eye on Hiradoumi. All right, let's move on to Oho. Speaking of another youngster, he is 23 years old. Oho on the right-hand side, he is 0-1. He meets Onosho 1-0 on the left-hand side. Oho lost yesterday, and Onosho was the winner on day 1 yesterday. Both hard pusher thrusters. Oho, of course, is the grandson of 32-time champion, late Taiho. And yes, that's what he's shooting for. He wants to become like his grandfather, but he's got a long way to go. But he's on his way, I think. 23 years of age, competing in Makuuchi, and he's on the right track. Onosho, his opponent, coming in with a win over RYUDEN yesterday. And Onosho is another Rikishi. He wants to get back to Sanyaku, and he's well capable of doing so, but he's still hampered by with his lower body injury. That's what we hear about Onosho. So let's see what how these two folks will fight in this match, Oho and Onosho. So in the first half, this is the final match in the first half. So after this, we'll have a little break. We'll have the change of the judges from the first half judges to the second half judges. So after this, we'll have a little break so we can maybe chat about something other than what's going on inside the ring right now. Anyway, it is Oho competing in his 10th Makuuchi contest. So Oho is building his confidence and experience competing in the highest division. And Oho, I think Oho is the same age. Yes, he will turn 24 in February. So with Ryu. So I think Oho is pretty inspired by Ryu's late success, winning the championship and becoming an Ozeki. Onosho, by the way, uh, yeah, he is still again fighting with aches and pains, but there should be no excuse because everybody in sumo is competing with some kind of aches and pains, and Onosho is not giving any kind of excuse. But so I think this will tell you what kind of shape Onosho is because he likes to go north and south with his leg drive, hitting his opponent, as hard as he can at the initial charge. And if he can drive Oho back, I think we can expect a good overall performance from Onosho. So this match will be a good, sample for how Onosho will fight in the remainder of this Akibasho. Okay. Let's see who the Gyoji is right now. Oh, that's Kimura Hisanosuke. Kimura Hisanosuke is on the right-hand side. He says, nope, we're not ready to fight yet. When they turn the Gumbai or the fan forward, that's a sign for them to fight. So they separate, go to the each side to get the salt, and they will wipe off their sweat with the towel, and they'll get the final salt. And after they throw the salt, they will fight. So here we go. The final match of the first half, Makuuchi top division action on day 2. It is a good one, Oho and Onosho. Onosho, by the way, he won yesterday, so he's going for back-to-back wins. Sold out crowd on hand here at the Kokugikan. The capacity of a little over 11,000 is what the Kokugikan can hold at one time. So their game plans should be pretty simple and clear. Just go forward, hit the opponent as hard as they can, and just plow ahead. I do not expect any kind of hanky-panky from these two combatants. Queen Bee, thank you so much for your super chat again. Who is your favorite? Yobi-dashi Hiro-san, Kobayashi-san also. So I'll give you that answer after completing this match between Oho and Onosho. Good charge by Onosho. Onosho having the upper hand on Oho, and Oho has no reply. It's Onosho all the way with his low charge and good pushing attack from start to finish, and Onosho gets the job done. So Onosho gets his win number 2. Oho loses for the second straight day. Oho meets Ryuden tomorrow. Onosho, the winner, will fight Takayasu, and that's the type of match we like to see from Onosho on a daily basis. So Queen Bee, thank you very much. I will answer your question perhaps in the second half, but we are now at the break of this Makuuchi Torikumi on day 2 of the Akibasho. So we'll take a 5-minute break and we'll be back in 5 minutes. So please stay tuned and we'll see you soon. Hey guys, can you hear us? Can you hear this? Yeah, I think so. Thank you. All right, welcome back to the September thriller on Sumo Prime Time, Day 2 live coverage of the Akibasho, the fall tournament. So we'll bring you the second half of Makuuchi, the top division action with the bout on full screen. So we hope you enjoy that. We're kind of doing a little test with providing you with all these matches in the second half on full screen. So we hope you enjoyed more dynamic matches coming your way. All right, second half, we kick things off with Ryuden and Takayasu. Ryuden is 0-1. Takayasu is off to a good start, 1-0. Speaking of, getting off to a good start, Takayasu needs to show his consistency because remember, in the July tournament, he got off to a 5-0 start from the opening day, but then he stumbled and he finished with a mere record of 7-8. So a brilliant start for Takayasu in July, but a little poor finish for Takayasu. So let's see if he can finish what he started. Takayasu competing in his 110th career tournament. Boy, wouldn't it be nice to see Takayasu back at Ozeki and winning his first title in the near future. That will be, I think, what the fans are all rooting for. Ryuden, his opponent, is hoping to get back up to Sanyaku or the ranks at the Komusubi or either Komusubi or Sekiwake. Sekiwake will be his highest rank ever, so that's what he's shooting for right now. In July, Ryuden went 10-5, so good record for Ryuden. As we take a look at Takayasu. Takayasu coming off a back-to-back Makikoshi losing record, so Takayasu needs to redeem himself this time. These two combatants have faced off 5 times in the past. Takayasu leads 3-2. Takayasu has won the last 2 meetings. Takayasu, when they met the last time, that was in the 2022 November tournament. Takayasu won by Hikiotoshi pulldown. Takayasu attacked with a great initial charge, straightened up Ryuden's body, and then yanked him hard to the ground. Ryuden is 32. Takayasu, this man, is 33. He will turn 34 next February. Here is Ryuden. He will turn 33 in November. Ryuden is 0-1. Takayasu 1-0. Ryuden likes to fight by establishing a double inside morozashi on Takayasu. By the way, I'm back from the little Shiko foot stamping break. I was doing some little, Shiko foot stamping to get myself ready for the second half of action. And here I am. Thank you for joining us for the second half of Day 2 top division matches. All right, here's Ryuden. Again, hoping to establish an inside position on Takayasu. Takayasu fights well with his Hidari Yotsu grip, left hand inside, right hand outside. Thank you very much for your super chat person. It says, Papayasu Haki. Oh, that's right. He is a father, proud father, Takayasu. And let's see if Takayasu can impress his wife and kid. Here we go. I think he has like 2 children right now. Battle of two veterans, Ryuden and Takayasu. Good charge by Takayasu. Takayasu keeps Ryuden on his heels and pulls him down. So just like the last time, I think he wins by Hikiotoshi hand pull down over Ryuden. So Takayasu remains unbeaten after 2 days. He goes to 2-0, and Ryuden is 0-2. Takayasu meets Onosho tomorrow. Ryuden fights Oho. By the way, they receive the money envelope at the end of these Makuuchi competition each day. And it's a little nice extra bonus for these Rikishi in the top division. Takayasu looking good. Again, Takayasu meets Onosho tomorrow. But it's a 15-day contest, so you have to have stamina to outlast the remainder of his opponents. 13 more days for Takayasu. Remember, Takayasu slowed down after going 5-0 in the July tournament. So Takayasu needs to keep himself competing at a high level in the remainder of the basho. Shonannoumi and TAKANOSHO up next. Shonannoumi competing in his second Makuuchi contest. Remember, he was one of the top division rookies in July, and he went 10-5 and left Nagoya with the Fighting Spirit prize. Shonannoumi is at 0-1 at the moment. TAKANOSHO on the left, competing in his 80th career tournament, and also this day 2 match is his 800th career bout. Shonannoumi and TAKANOSHO. TAKANOSHO won yesterday on the opening day. By the way, my favorite Yobidashi ring announcer is, I must say, Shigeo, the veteran, Riki Nojo, Kunio. I have quite a few, so I cannot really zero in on one Yobidashi, but that's my answer. All those veteran Yobidashi are my favorite Yobidashi ring announcers. I think Kobayashi-kun likes Daikichi, maybe somebody else. Oh, I see Tenkaiho-san. Tenkaiho-san, hello. Hello. Okay, it is Shonannoumi and TAKANOSHO. All right, Shonannoumi, by the way, after 9 long years since his pro debut, he makes the top Makuuchi division. So he's a grinder. He's a hard worker. And he finally makes the top division in July after a long 9 years since his pro debut. So job well done for Shonannoumi. I hope he stays in Makuuchi for many, many years to come, because he spent so many years down in the lower divisions. TAKANOSHO, a former Sekiwake, remember he used to compete at Sekiwake on a regular basis, like 4 straight Sekiwake tournaments in the late 2020 to early 2021. But since then, he's been away from Sekiwake or Sanyaku, with the exception of the January tournament 2022. So TAKANOSHO, we all know that he can compete at a much higher level. So that's what we like to see him do this time. First ever meeting between Shonannoumi and TAKANOSHO. They have never faced off against each other in the past. Shonannoumi got beat by another July top division rookie Gonoyama yesterday. Gonoyama with a brilliant performance against Shonannoumi. So Shonannoumi wants to bounce back today. TAKANOSHO defeated Ura in a very calm manner yesterday. So he's 1-0. So a lot of people rooting for Shonannoumi and TAKANOSHO. I'm checking out my chat. And again, thank you so much for joining us here on day 2 of the September Thriller. I'm Hiro Morita, bringing you the action live from the Kokugikan, the home of sumo, the center of sumo universe. Here we go. Shonannoumi versus TAKANOSHO. First ever meeting. Good charge by TAKANOSHO. TAKANOSHO gains an inside position. SHONANNOUMI in all sorts of trouble, but SHONANNOUMI rallies with a win over TAKANOSHO at the edge. What a reversal by SHONANNOUMI. He was able to swing SHONANNOUMI around with the left hand squinage, got TAKANOSHO out of position and defeating TAKANOSHO with a strong left side attack. SHONANNOUMI gets the W on day 2. So SHONANNOUMI and TAKANOSHO are both 1-1 after 2 days. SHONANNOUMI will fight Ura tomorrow. TAKANOSHO meets Gonoyama. So congratulations to SHONANNOUMI for picking up his first win. That's a start. So that's a squinage win for SHONANNOUMI. Beautifully done at the edge. So a lot of things happen at the edge, huh? Remember we saw the matchup between Takakeisho and Hokutofuji yesterday, and everything happened at the edge. Turned into a rematch. So let's move on to the matchup between these two combatants. A highly anticipated matchup here on day 2. It's Ura versus Gonoyama. Gonoyama was a top division rookie in July, and he went 10-5, and with the fighting spirit prize, Gonoyama has a lot of promise out of Chuo University, and yes, he rallied to get his first win against SHONANNOUMI yesterday. What a match that was by Gonoyama yesterday. So Gonoyama is on a roll. Back-to-back double-digit winning records for Gonoyama. 2 in Juryo and 1 in Makuuchi in July. So, but I'm sure there are lots of Ura fans out there around the world. He got beat by TAKANOSHO yesterday, so that's a bounce-back match for Ura. Now, these two folks are from Osaka Prefecture, both from the same town of Neyagawa City in Osaka Prefecture. So this one is for bragging rights between the two Osaka natives, and they're both from the same city of Neyagawa. So, boy, this is a bragging rights for bragging rights. Ura used to train Gonoyama when they were both young, so they know each other very well since their childhood days. Ura versus Gonoyama, Osaka Neyagawa showdown. Here we go. Ura 0-1, Gonoyama 1-0. Gonoyama with a good attack, but Ura pushes Gonoyama back and out. Ura, nice job by Ura staying low, taking the charge of Gonoyama, but Gonoyama gets deflected off of Ura, and Ura shoves Gonoyama back. Ura wins by Oshidashi. Strong performance by Ura to get his first win of the Akibasho, the fall tournament. Job well done, Ura. That's his 297th career victory, so 3 wins away from getting his 300th career win. Ura gets the win, defeating Gonoyama, the man whom he used to train when they were both in their childhood days, and Ura becomes the winner in this match to go 1-0. Tomorrow, Ura meets, by the way, Shonannoumi, and Gonoyama will fight TAKANOSHO. So what a match by Ura. Ura showed some power in that match, didn't he? I mean, he took Gonoyama's best shot and just shoved him back and out. So a strong outing by Ura today. Moving on to the next match, we have Tobizaru, the flying monkey, on the right. that's not a nickname that we gave Tobizaru. Tobizaru calls himself the flying monkey, and that's how he fights: fast and quick, with a lot of agility. He moves all over the place. He tries to outmaneuver his foes with his quickness. His opponent is a very powerful Iron Man Tamawashi at 0-1. Tamawashi has never been absent since his debut at the professional ranks. He's closing in on his 600th Makuuchi top division victory. Currently, he has 598 top division wins. So here is Tamawashi on the left-hand side, two-time champ. And Tamawashi shows no signs of slowing down. Tamawashi competing in his 117th career tournament. You're looking at Tobizaru. He is the returnee to the Sanyaku, the fourth highest Komusubi rank this time. So, way to go, Tobizaru. Tobizaru has the lead in their personal series, 5-3 over Tamawashi. Kind of surprising. The last time they met was in May. Tobizaru won by Oshidashi push out. Not only that was an intriguing matchup between two energetic Rikishi, but Kachikoshi, more wins than losses, was on the line for both on the final day of the May tournament when they met, and it was Tobizaru winning the match and handing Tamawashi a losing record. So Tamawashi may be looking for a payback a little bit right here. Tobizaru always gives his 100% effort and then some. Tamawashi wants to keep Tobizaru at dead center, because if he allows Tobizaru to use his lateral mobility and move sideways and outmaneuver Tamawashi will be in a lot of trouble. So Tamawashi wants to shut down Tobizaru's quickness, perhaps with his Nodowa, the step-on. He's got a strong pushing attack, Tamawashi, we all know, and that's what he wants to apply against Tobizaru today. Some people are looking for a henka or sideway move at the initial charge by Tobizaru, and that could fool Tamawashi too. But the Tamawashi, again, he's a wily veteran, strong veteran, so I think he's got a good game plan on Tobizaru today. So here we go. We have one more shikiri. They go back to their respective sides. We'll get the towel and the salt, and they will fight. So they are both looking for their first win of this fall tournament. Tobizaru got beat by Kirishima in the final match on the opening day yesterday. So maybe a less pressure today since this is not a final match. Again, Tamawashi to score 2 more wins to get that 6 Makuuchi victories. Hard pushing and thrusting Tamawashi on the left. There should be a lot of fireworks between these two offensive Rikishi. Tobizaru on the right. Tobizaru shifts away, and look at the move Tobizaru puts on Tamawashi, and Tamawashi ends up in the front row. Tobizaru uses his quickness. Tobizaru shifts away at the initial charge, gets Tamawashi out of position, and Tamawashi never recovers. He goes into the front row, and Tobizaru defeats Tamawashi very quickly. So Tobizaru uses his quickness to outmaneuver Tamawashi for his first win of the fall tournament. Tobizaru meets Hoshoryu tomorrow, so that should be a good tune-up. This was a good tune-up match for Tobizaru as he meets the new Ozeki Hoshoryu on day 3. Tamawashi, by the way, he is now 0-2, and he will fight Kotono Waka, the newly promoted Sekiwake, on day 3. Kudos to Tobizaru for his outstanding performance today. He knows that he cannot go mano a mano in the power versus power type of a battle against Tamawashi, so he uses quickness and nifty footwork to outmaneuver the veteran Tamawashi. Torizaru wins. Shodai and Daisho on the dohyo now, both lost on the opening day yesterday. Shodai 0-1, former Ozeki, competing at Maegashira 3 at the moment. His opponent is Daisho, the Sekiwake, who is competing in his 70th career tournament. Shodai hoping to work his way back to Ozeki. Shodai is the 2020 September tournament champion, so Shodai won his first championship right here exactly 3 years ago. It's been a long time since Shodai has shined in the middle of the ring. So Shodai wants to redeem himself big time. Here is Shodai, 31-year-old veteran who will turn 32 before the next tournament in November. Back-to-back 6-9 records for Shodai. So yes, this man wants to rebound big time here in the fall tournament. Do you guys think that Shodai still has juice? Or is Shodai done? I don't think so. But it's kind of hard to imagine with the way Shodai has been competing these days. He can work his way back to Ozeki. Let's hope he does. But it's going to be a long, tough road for Shodai to get back to Ozeki. Same thing for Mitakeumi. Shodai likes to fight by establishing a double inside grip, and he will use his quick feet to drive his opponent out. That's his go-to style. Daisho, he is a hard pusher thruster. So you do not want to take Daisho's heavy dose of thrusting attack. Daisho ended with a mere 9-6 record in the previous tournament in July, and Daisho hoping to turn things around a little bit. Even though it's a good winning record, Daisho wants to do much better. He wants to constantly finish with a double-digit winning record so Daisho can gain his promotion to Ozeki soon. Shodai and Daisho have met 26 times in the past. So this is their 27th meeting. Daisho leads the series 18-8. Sizable edge for Daisho. And not only that, Daisho has won their last 6 meetings. Also, 10 of their last 11 matchups. The last time they met was in July. Daisho won by Oshidashi. And in that matchup, it was Daisho all the way, even though Shodai tried to use his sideway attack against Daisho, but Daisho pretty much kept Shodai right in front of him and took the match by the push-out. So here we go. The Gyoji in the middle is Kimura Yodo. He has turned his Gunbai forward. It's time to fight. Shodai and Daisho. Shodai wants to gain an inside position. Daisho looking good. Daisho driving Shodai back, and out goes Shodai. Daisho simply blows Shodai away. Oshidashi winner is Daisho. Shodai simply has no answer against Daisho's strong pushing and thrusting attack. Daisho goes to 1-1, Shodai 0-2. So on day 3, Daisho will fight Abi, and Shodai meets Wakamoto Haru. So this is the type of performance Daisho wants to put up on a daily basis and realize his dream of gaining promotion to Ozeki. A lot of people are happy to see Daisho performing at a high level here on day 2. Thank you so much for joining us here on day 2, Sumo Prime Time's coverage of the fall tournament, the September thriller. And yeah, we're going to have more thrilling action coming your way as we get to the end of these Makuuchi contest day 2. Next up, we have a good one between former Ozeki Asanoyama versus the newly promoted Sekiwake Kotonowaka, both men winning on the opening day yesterday. Asanoyama and Kotonowaka are meeting for the first time in the top division. But get this, they have one-time meeting when they were both in Sandanme. That's the third lowest division. And Asanoyama back then, he was competing with his real name, Ishibashi, won the match by wate nage overarm throw over Kotonowaka, who used to fight under the name Koto Kamatani in 2016 May tournament. You're talking about Asanoyama still at 22 years old, while Kotonowaka was at the tender age of 18 when they first met in Sandanme division. And again, this is their first meeting in the top division between Asanoyama and Kotonowaka. Asanoyama kind of ran out of gas toward the middle of the basho in July. Well, of course, he got banged up. He suffered a left biceps injury in the middle of the July tournament, but he sat out a couple of days, but came back and finished strong in Nagoya, 4-0, finished 4 straight wins to score more wins than losses in Nagoya. So Asanoyama is a grinder, and Asanoyama is a one gutsy performer. You see still tapings on his left biceps area. So Asanoyama not in 100% at all. And prior to the basho, we heard that Asanoyama injured his right big toe. I believe that happened during the provincial tour in August. And Asanoyama says he is unable to fight with a strong lower body drive with his legs. So a little bit of concern on Asanoyama, but he's got the experience that he can take the upper hand in his match. Now his opponent is Kotonowaka. Kotonowaka with a lot of promise. Shin Sekiwake, the newly promoted Sekiwake. And Kotonowaka is coming off a nice 11 wins and 4 loss record in July. He also left with a Fighting Spirit prize in the July tournament. So Kotonowaka has established himself as one of the legitimate Ozeki candidates today. Let's say Kotonowaka, if he finishes with another double-digit winning record, Kotonowaka will be up there along with Daishoho and Wakamoto Haru as the legitimate Ozeki hope. So it's very important for Kotonowaka to finish with another double-digit winning record to keep his Ozeki campaign going. Remember, Kotonowaka's father, former Sekiwake Kotonowaka, and his boss, stable master. So Kotonowaka, the current Kotonowaka, has tied his father competing at the highest rank of Sekiwake. Now he's hoping to become Ozeki and then Yokozuna to match Kotonowaka's grandfather, who used to be Kotozakura. So this is, I would say, one of the highlight matches here on day 2 of the Aki Basho. It's Asanoyama and Kotonowaka. They both fight in similar styles. Right hand inside, left hand outside. Here we go. Both men 1-0 at the moment. Good charge by Kotonowaka. Kotonowaka moving really well. Asanoyama back. Asanoyama circles away, stays alive. Asanoyama shows resiliency. Asanoyama drives Kotonowaka to the edge now. Double inside hold, but look at the Watenage over arm throw. Victory by Asanoyama. He slams Kotonowaka with the throw, and Asanoyama comes out on top. What a match by the former Ozeki. Asanoyama improves to 2 wins and no losses. Way to go, Asanoyama. He meets Nishikigi tomorrow. Kotono Waka 1-1. He fights Tamashi on day 3. What a beautiful throw by Asanoyama. He allowed Kotono Waka to get that double inside hold. And I thought, wait a minute, this is going to be Kotono Waka all the way, but Asanoyama rallied. Asanoyama never threw in the towel, and he finished off Kotono Waka with a beautiful watenage, his go-to weapon, with the left hand. What a match. Asanoyama's got juice. A lot of wows in the stadium, and also we are receiving a lot of comments saying what a throw that was by Asanoyama, applauding Asanoyama's splendid watenage. Yes, juice. Asanoyama, that's what he has. All right, let's move on to the next match. It is Wakamoto Haru meeting Abi. Should be another interesting battle here. Wakamoto Haru and Abi both winless after 1 day here in the Akibasho. Wakamoto Haru competing in his 3rd consecutive Sekiwake. And Abi used to be competing at Sekiwake before, but right now he is at Maegashira 2. Hard pushing, thrusting Abi. He came up short against Hoshoryu yesterday. Wakamoto Haru got beat by Asanoyama on day 1 yesterday. These two combatants met 5 times in the past. Abi has the lead 3-2. In July, Wakamoto Haru won by Hatakikomi slapdown. That was almost a reminiscent of the match we saw from Abi yesterday. I mean, Abi had, almost the upper hand, attacking with his relentless pushing and thrusting attack against Hoshoryu, but he wasn't able to finish off Hoshoryu at the edge. So let's see if he can finish off his business today. Wakamoto Haru, his younger brother Wakataka Kage, is still trying to recuperate from the right knee injury he sustained in March. And we hear that Wakataka Kage is on the mend, so that's a good news. And Wakamoto Haru also crossing his fingers that Wakataka Kage to return to the top Makuuchi division soon. Again, we hear that Wakataka Kage has started training against the lower division wrestlers, so that's a good sign. And his Oyakata, former Sokokurai from the China's Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region, Sokokurai, the current Arashio Oyakata, the stable master, says Wakataka Kage could be back in action in November if everything goes according to plan. But Wakataka Kage, of course, will be demoted to Makushita, the 3rd highest division. But Wakataka Kage, again, is a proven product. Should be fine for Wakataka Kage to work his way up to Juryo and then to Makuuchi. Here is Abi, a one-time champ. Remember, he is the winner of the November tournament last year. And that was his first Yusho, winning the 3-way playoff. Overcoming the 3-way playoff. That was a memorable Yusho or championship by Abi not too long ago. Since then, there hasn't been any flashy moments from Abi, but yes, he is going to attack with everything he has. High-octane offense of Abi against powerful sumo of Wakamoto Haru right here. So let's see how things go. The Gyoji is now Kimura Tamajiro, number 2 Gyoji today. Abi with a Morotezuki double arm extension. Wakamoto Haru advances, but Abi pulls Wakamoto Haru to the ground, and Abi takes the match by Hikiotoshi hand pull down. So Abi goes to 1-1. Wakamoto Haru is now 0-2. Abi wins by Hikiotoshi pull down, and Abi meets Daisho tomorrow. Wakamoto Haru fights Shodai on day 3. A quick match, but Abi knew what to do, how to deal with Wakamoto Haru. First up, he just attacked with a double arm extension. It's called Morotezuki, double arm thrust. And then when Wakamoto Haru tries to go forward, that's when Abi kind of retreated and hit the hand pull down. Hikiotoshi, same time. So that was a very effective Hikiotoshi hand pull down maneuver by Abi. We have 3 more matches here on day 2 in Makuuchi, the top division. Next up, we have another intriguing matchup between Meisei and Kirishima. Meisei will be appearing from the right side of the screen, from the west side, and he will fight Kirishima from the east side, the Ozeki. Kirishima is competing in his second Ozeki Basho, or the contest. Remember, Kirishima ended with a losing record in the previous tournament in July. So Kirishima, his back is against the wall. Kirishima must score more wins than losses this time, at least 8-7, in order to retain his Ozeki status. Anything less, Kirishima will be demoted to Sekiwake in the next tournament. Kirishima competing in his 50th career tournament. Meisei on the right, he is a stablemate of Ryu, who won his first championship in July. So Meisei is fired up. He is really motivated after watching his stablemate Ryu winning his first title and elevating himself to the rank of Ozeki. I spoke to Meisei before the tournament, as many of you might have seen my interview with Meisei, and Meisei was telling me that he's fired up and he thinks it's his turn to win it all, and I hope so. And Meisei is on the right track. He won his match doing a little bit of henka yesterday at the initial charge, winning by Hataki Komi over Daisho. He meets a tough opponent in Kirishima today. Now Kirishima, we hear that he's in much better shape these days. Remember, he was absent in early part of the July tournament, even though he competed in July, but he wasn't able to put up a winning numbers. Here is Meisei. I asked Meisei, so what is your ideal sumo, type of sumo? And Meisei said right away that he wants to take the initiative in everything he does, whether that's throwing his opponent around or pushing and thrusting or attacking at the initial charge. He wants to be the one who's making the first move. That's what Meisei told me. So I said, so you want to attack your opponent with a preemptive strike? He says, that's exactly what I'm aiming at every single time when I step into the ring. So that's what Meisei is hoping to do against Kirishima, the Ozeki. He wants to take the early advantage with his speed, aggressiveness, and with his preemptive strike. Kirishima, on the other hand, we hear that he had a good training session during the summer provincial tour, and Kirishima, even though he was banged up, we heard that he was dealing with a lot of pains in his ribs during the July tournament, but that's been fixed, and we hear Kirishima is competing in his top form right now. So here is Kirishima in his second Ozeki Basho. A lot of people are expecting Kirishima to perhaps winning his second title in this Aki Basho. Of course, Terunofuji is sidelined with a herniated disc, and that leaves Kirishima as the highest ranked combatant on the official listing of ranks for the September tournament. So it's Kirishima's job to maybe he might not leave Tokyo with another championship, but it's his job to stay in the hunt, stay in contention from start to finish. Again, yesterday at the initial charge, Meisei attacked his opponent with a sideway henka maneuver. Kirishima, of course, has seen that, so that's in his head, and I'm sure Kirishima will be very careful taking on Meisei at the initial charge. I don't think Meisei will come out with the same or similar type of henka move at the initial charge, but you never know. So that's one thing Kirishima wants to be careful at the initial charge today. So who is going to be Meisei or Kirishima? Both men winning on the opening day yesterday. The Gyoji has turned his gunbai forward. It's time to fight. Meisei versus Kirishima for their second win. Good job by Kirishima keeping movement with Meisei. Meisei using his quickness, but he is getting overwhelmed by Kirishima's forward launch. Kirishima putting up a pretty strong charge on Meisei from start to finish. Meisei unable to show anything offensively today as Kirishima wins by Oshita Oshi frontal push down. Kirishima, the Ozeki, goes to 2-0 with an outstanding sumo here on day 2. Never allowed Meisei to get his offense going today. Kirishima shows good defense, good offense, good overall performance by Kirishima to go 2-0. Ozeki Kirishima will fight Hokutofuji tomorrow. Meisei versus Takakeisho on day 3. I'm seeing a lot of patience from Kirishima Sumo these days. I'm sure Kirishima was aware of Meisei's aggressive style of a sumo, but he didn't allow Meisei to do pretty much anything. He kept his hips low and just allowed Meisei to do his stuff. And when Kirishima thought it was his turn to go offensive, that's exactly what he did, and he took the match pretty comfortably over Meisei. So Kirishima goes to 2-0. 2 more matches remaining. Another Ozeki appearing, and this time from the west side, and that is Ryu, the newly promoted Ozeki. He's meeting Hokutofuji. Both men 1-0. The rematch of the July tournament's playoff. In the July tournament, these two combatants fought twice, once in regulation, and that match went to Hokutofuji. But in the playoff, when everything counted, with all the marbles on the table, Ryu took the match, defeating Hokutofuji in a playoff. So we expect a lot of firepower, a lot of exciting movements from these two combatants right here today. Ryu hoping to become the first man since 2006 Hakuho to become the first newly promoted Ozeki to win the championship. It's hard to do, hard to win a championship when you're a new Ozeki. So we take a look at the Hokutofuji. By the way, I asked Hokutofuji how he felt, attending his stable master or the chairman of the Japan Sumo Association, Hakaku's 60th birthday memorable Dohyo Iri Yokozuna ring entering ceremony, and Hokutofuji told me it was great. I mean, his oyakata is so cool, and Hokuto Fuji just has nothing but respect for his 60-year-old oyakata, or the chairman of the Japan Sumo Association. Again, Hokuto Fuji was saying that he wants to win one for his oyakata, stable master. He came close, and Hokuto Fuji was saying yesterday after his win over his opponent, he defeated Takakeisho yesterday, and Hokuto Fuji was saying that he's gained a lot of confidence by contending for the championship in July till the last moment. And Hokuto Fuji says, if I keep working hard, there might be a day that I would come out on top at the end of 15 days. Let's hope Hokuto Fuji blossoms big time in the near future. He meets Hoshoryu today, Shin Ozeki. And by the way, yesterday Hoshoryu's victory was nice because Hoshoryu was celebrating with his win his stable master's 55th birthday. So that's a great birthday gift that Hoshoryu gave his master, who turned 55 yesterday, former Komusubi Asahi Yutaka Tatsunami Oyakata. So here's Hoshoryu. It's kind of interesting because when I watched the Hoshoryu's interview, and Hoshoryu was saying that his uncle, former Yokozuna Asa Shoryu, already calls him the Yokozuna. I mean, of course, Asa Shoryu has high hopes for his nephew Hoshoryu to rise to Yokozuna soon, and the fastest way to rise to Yokozuna is to win a championship, competing at the second highest rank of Ozeki. Hoshoryu knows that, and Hoshoryu wants to prove that, of course, he is worthy of being promoted to Yokozuna by performing at a high level in the tournaments to come. A lot of work to do before he can rise to Yokozuna. He's just a new Ozeki hoping to win his first Yusho as an Ozeki, Hoshoryu. So here's Hokuto Fuji. Hokuto Fuji is going for back-to-back Ozeki scalps. He defeated Takakeisho in a rematch yesterday. Win number 1 against Ozeki. He's going for his Ozeki defeat number 2. So here we go. Hokuto Fuji, a hard pressure thruster against Hoshoryu. Hoshoryu wants to stop Hokuto Fuji's initial charge and then gain a good grip on Hokuto Fuji. If Hoshoryu can do that, Hoshoryu will have his day. But Hokuto Fuji is a tough customer. It's not easy to deal with Hokuto Fuji's high-octane frontal charge offense. By the way, these two folks have met 6 times in the past. Hoshoryu has the edge 5-1. Only one defeat for Hoshoryu against Hokuto Fuji coming in the July tournament in regulation. But Hoshoryu got the payback in the playoff. So the new Ozeki taking on Hokuto Fuji, who came close to winning his first title in July. Yeah, Hokuto Fuji, even though he didn't win a championship in July in Nagoya, he left Nagoya with the Fighting Spirit Prize with a nice 12-3 record. So he's been promoted like 8 slots from Maegashira 9 to Maegashira 1 this time, Hokuto Fuji. These two combatants are ready. I'm ready. You're ready. So let's get it on. Here's Hoshoryu against Hokuto Fuji. Hokuto Fuji looking for another upset over an Ozeki opponent. Shikimori Inosuke, the chief Gyoji, has turned his Gunbai forward. Time to fight. Good charge by Hoshoryu, gaining inside position. He drives Hokutofuji back, but Hokutofuji with a slap down. Hokutofuji upsets Ozeki Hoshoryu, and Hoshoryu bites the dust for the first time, competing at the second highest rank. Who'd expected that? Another upset by Hokutofuji, and Hokutofuji back-to-back Ozeki scalps. Hataki Komi slap down, beautifully done by Hokutofuji. What a performance by Hokutofuji. Now tomorrow on day 3, Hokutofuji will fight Kirishima, another Ozeki. So are we going to see trifecta by Hokutofuji? He is hoping to sweep all 3 Ozeki here in the Akibasho. What a performance by Hokutofuji so far. Yesterday, he defeated Takakeisho, and today he beats Hoshoryu 2-0. Again, Hokutofuji meets Kirishima tomorrow. Hoshoryu will try to bounce back when he meets Tobizaru on day 3. What an upset here on day 2. So, final match coming your way from the Kokugikan, the home of sumo in Tokyo. Wow, time flies, doesn't it? Final match already here on day 2, and it's a good one. It's Ozeki Takakeisho facing off against Nishikigi, the newly promoted Komusubi. Musubi no Ichiban, Takakeisho 0-1, Nishikigi is 1-0. Nishikigi yesterday defeated Tamawashi. Takakeisho got beat by Hokutofuji in a rematch. Final match. Takakeisho competing in his 7th Kadoban tournament. Kadoban meaning that you have to put up winning numbers, more wins than losses, in order to stay or keep your Ozeki status. Takakeisho has been there seven times so far, and let's see what he does today, because he is off to a disappointing 0-1 start as he got beat by Hokutofuji yesterday. Here is Nishikigi, the newly promoted Komusubi, and boy, it took him a long time from his debut to make the 4th highest rank, but job well done. Shin Komusubi. It took him 103 tournaments since his pro debut to make that rank. And he is already 33 years old, but I believe the best days are yet to come from Nishikigi. He is very powerful. He's got a great work ethic. And prior to the Basho, I asked Nishikigi personally, what's the key to stay strong after turning 30? And he says, just grinding it out, hard work on a daily basis. And if you stop working hard, you are not going to, improve. So that's what Nishikigi does. He works hard every single day, and that's why he's able to stay healthy for a long time. Get this, this is Nishikigi's 18th year in professional sumo, and he has never missed a single day of action. He's never been absent, just like Tamawashi. Looking at Takakeisho right there, Kadoban Ozeki. So Takakeisho off to a bad start yesterday, so he needs to bounce back quick. Because winning 8 matches is no easy task for anybody in the top division. Takakeisho knows that, and Takakeisho realizes that the gravity of the situation, and he wants to come out on top pretty badly today. Takakeisho sat out the entire July tournament with knee injuries. And we hear that those knees are not 100% yet. So that's why he's competing. uh, and having a hard time, putting up winning numbers. But let's hope Takakeisho stays injury-free this time out, so he can compete for the entire 15 days. Takakeisho is a hard pusher, and Nishikigi would like to stop Takakeisho's initial charge and establish his go-to weapon, that's Hidari Yotsu, left hand inside, right hand outside. I asked Nishikigi what's his ideal sumo, and Nishikigi replied by saying that just go forward. I don't care what his opponents, how my opponent fight. All I want to do is stop my opponent's charge, go chest to chest, and just drive him back and out. So Nishikigi is just totally focused on just plowing ahead. Simple sumo, but I think that's the best mindset, because if you can drive your opponent back and out, you win. Two ways to win your match in sumo, by simply moving out your opponent out of the ring, or taking your opponent down to the deck with a technique such as a throw. So here's the final match between Takakeisho 0-1 against Nishikigi 1-0. So here we go. The final match on day 2, the September thriller. Takakeisho on the right, Nishikigi on the left. Good initial charge by Takakeisho, and they're going mano a mano, but look at the Tsuki Otoshi thrust down maneuver by Takakeisho. Takakeisho shows a lot of patience, a lot of confidence in this match, and Takakeisho gets the W for the first time in this tournament. Takakeisho is the winner by Hataki Komi, or Tsuki Otoshi, I'm sorry, and he goes to 1-1. Takakeisho fights Meisei tomorrow. Nishikigi loses for the first time. He will try to rebound when he meets Asanoyama on day 3. And that will end today's Makuuchi Torikumi day 2. Wow, things go so fast when we do these live streaming show. But thanks everybody for joining us here on day 2. Right now, it's a boat twirling ceremony time. And I believe that's Sadanoumi-san. Yes. And he is in his mid-40s, and he is great. I mean, he can perform this so sound, the boat twirling ceremony every day. And I think the fans appreciate his beautiful performance of Yumi Tori Shiki, the boat twirling ceremony. 46-year-old Sadanoumi does the job. So thanks for joining us today on today's Sumo Prime Times, the September 3rd. We hope you enjoyed our 2-hour coverage of day 2 live Makuuchi Torikumi. We have about 2 minutes broadcast left. So let me give you my championship picks for this September tournament. Well, Hoshoryu is one of the Ozeki. I was hoping to pick as one of my usual hopes, but he got beat today. Kirishima winning 2-0. So Kirishima is right up there as one of the usual favorites or the championship favorites. Kotonowaka beat the dust today. So Kotonowaka, it's going to be hard for him to win the championship. He needs to bounce back quick. Now, speaking of their championship hopes, how about Asanoyama winning for another day and 2-0? The former Ozeki is looking good. So I might want to pick Asanoyama as my title winner for this tournament. But I go back to Kotonowaka. I think Kotonowaka is going to rebound. Kotonowaka is strong. Kotonowaka looks confident. So Kotonowaka will be back to win his first title and get his another step closer to his Ozeki promotion. So I would like to see Kotonowaka to win his Yusho for this September tournament. And that's my pick. All right, we have about less than a minute left in this broadcast or the show. Thank you so much for joining us here on day 2 of the September tournament, the September thriller on Sumo Prime Time. I really appreciate you for joining us today, giving us all these chat, and I love communicating throughout the show with you all. So thank you so much for joining us here on Sumo Prime Time. I'm Hiro Morita. Arigato for watching, and see you again soon on Sumo Prime Time. Sayonara!